Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How is everybody doing today? And yes, we should be celebrating a Chiefs victory. We should be. Not overreact, Chiefs people, Chiefs family, Chiefs adopt people. Welcome to another episode of the Wild Card Chief. I am the Wild Card Chief, Wild Card Mar. And well, we just gotta face it. Let's just talk about Sunday's game against the Colts. All right. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Wildcard Mar has 3 negative observations and 3 positive observations of what happened with that Chiefs losing to the Indianapolis Colts 20-17 in week 3. Let's not overreact, but you know what? Let's start with the negatives. Let's start with the negative observations, get them out the way first, so that we can feel, well, let's end our show on a good note. And let's be honest. The sky was falling. Well, no pun intended. Well, I guess there is, but I mean, it all went downhill from right here. Sky Moore muffed the punt early in the game after a great job by the defense of getting a 3 and out. And if you are a lifetime fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, you've seen these type of things happen all the time, right from the beginning of the game, and you see things like that, you're like, oh Lord, here we go. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time before all hell breaks loose. You know, and don't blame us lifetime Chiefs fans for having this type of thought. It's just that we've been around for a long time and we've seen a lot of crazy shit with this Chiefs organization, with this football team. And when it comes to, you know, good play and bad play, we've seen our fair share of things and signs that bad things are about to happen. So we've seen that. It's not our fault. We're just kind of conditioned to prepare for it, I should say. Be ready for it. Because you know something's about to happen. And that was the beginning of the end. And the bad thing that I can't get over with Sky Moore is you can see it shook his confidence. And he began to question himself. The second punt he had, literally, he dodged it, and then the coach down it inside the 2-yard line. So you can tell that muff punt affected him, not just the team. It affected him. Bad day for special teams all around. Matt Amendola misses a 34-yard field goal, misses an extra point, and look at the final score. It's 20-17. There's 4 points on the board, or not on the board, that are left on the table. You know, see, I'm a cheap kind of guy. I'm frugal. Let's say frugal, and we eat leftovers at our houses because, hell, you pay for it. And what you paid for it is cheaper than going out to a restaurant or whatever. But you get more than one meal out of it. You go to a restaurant, you pay these high dollars, you get one meal. So that's what I mean. They didn't take care of take care of the leftovers. They left points on the table and not put them on the board. And just in general, special teams was I did not like that fake field goal call. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know why it was called. If that's the case, just leave the offense on the field. I would rather live and die by Patrick Mahomes, number 15 in that offense, than a fake field goal or a kicker any day. I will put my chances in Patrick Mahomes in that offense than a fake botch attempt. I don't know what the hell that was. The route that the guy ran wasn't even past the first down line of game. So I didn't understand that. And that just that moment, it just didn't make sense. So you took points off the board right there. That's another 3, maybe 6 points left off the table. Just the offense was not in sync. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but we've talked about this situation earlier in a few episodes of the Wild Card Chief, and I think it was after the first the first preseason game, where Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Patrick Mahomes just miss each other. I believe it's either Chicago or Washington, either one, but almost the same round as it was in this one. I mean, literally, you can see right here, Marquez Valdes-Scantling has his guy beat, and Patrick just missed him. You know, as much as we love Patrick Mahomes, as love as we praise Patrick Mahomes, this is a throw that I thought that he would have gotten corrected already, because he missed his throw a couple of times in preseason, and I'm just hoping by now that he would have had it corrected, and the offense just wasn't in sync. Let's be honest about Orlando Brown for just a moment. He did not play as a guy worthy who wants to be paid as the best left tackle in football. He did not play great against the Indianapolis Colts. And what bothers me is the week before, and especially coming off of almost 9 days rest because you played on Thursday against the Chargers. And Orlando Brown actually had a good game, had a decent game against, in my opinion, a better pass rush with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. You know, I thought that defense was a lot more stout up front than what the Indianapolis defense was, and I was shocked that especially him in general struggled with that defense yesterday. Was a little shocked by that. Definitely was a little shocked by that. And I don't know what it is, but the running game took a regression against the Colts, which is, kind of a little mind-boggling, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been doing this thing. You've been seeing little flashes of Isaiah Pacheco, even though I think they still need to get him a little bit more involved in the running game. Jerick McKinnon couldn't get going in the running game. It's never a good day when Patrick Mahomes is your leading receiver. Your leading rusher. I'm so irritated. I got it confused. But anytime that Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher, that tells me two things. One, we can't protect him and give him enough time. And two, our running game isn't going. I mean, to me, it's pretty simple. And then on the last third negative observation, the Chiefs fell into a trap. This was a trap game. For those who have been following the product, I came on Wild Card Chief, episode 8, right before the game to preview the game. Excuse me. And one of my biggest keys to victory is don't let the fire start on your watch. And in my opinion, this was a trap game. The Colts were not playing good. You got defensive starters, key defensive starters like Shaquille Leonard, who didn't play. I thought that was a good benefit. I thought Travis Kelce would go off. He scored a touchdown, had a big play. Very uncharacteristic drop in the end zone from him on the back shoulder throw. You don't see that too often. So I hope opponents take a mental picture of that, because that's probably be the last time you see that this year, that Kelsey drops a surefire touchdown. But it was just an overall trap game. Chiefs were a better team, but they did not prove it with their actions. Very undisciplined. And speaking of discipline, I look. I know a lot of people are talking about this situation right here, where Chris Jones gets to unsportsmanlike conduct. And I'm gonna be honest. Here's the deal. These players talk shit all the time on the field. They talk, they chatter, they chirp at each other. But to throw the flag on that seems a little fishy, odd. Because players chirp, they're always going to shit talk. But I will say this: I'm not putting that call on the refs or the reason why the Chiefs lost. I'm looking at Chris Jones to take accountability, which he did, and not to never let that situation happen again. Let's not. First of all, I think we can all say that the refs are a little squirrely, inconsistent, looking for something to throw a flag on, and which is, I understand, but let's not give him ammunition. So Chris Jones has to be a little bit more cautious. You can still play like the CEO of Sack Nation. You can still play rough, rugged, hard to the whistle. But once the play is done, let's get back with our teammates, re-strategize, recalibrate, reevaluate, whatever you need to do as a team, and let's not even focus on the opponent. But I was not a fan of that call, especially with the go-ahead touchdown. Chris Jones was clearly held, and they swallowed their whistles and tucked their flags on that one. But I'm not that type of fan to blame a loss on the refs. The Chiefs blew this one. Let's be honest about that. It was point blank period. The Chiefs killed themselves, fell into the trap, and they let that fire get started with the Colts. Let that fire get started. Well, let's actually have some 3 positive observations before we head out. And it actually started great from the beginning. The defense did a fantastic job of getting that 3 and out, set the tone. And the defense literally for the first 3 quarters played consistent with their defense. Take away the muff punt, take away a play here or there. In Indianapolis, the coach barely even scored. And just, I don't know. I just didn't understand how, they weren't able to maintain it. Well, I actually do. It wasn't their fault. Chiefs lost time of possession. They lost the turnover battle. Those are usually the keys to victories to beat the Chiefs. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Turn them over. So, and for the most part, the Colts did that. They won time of possession. They won a turnover battle. And that's why the Chiefs are now 2-1. Second observation, man, great job by the defense getting pressure on Matt Ryan. If my calculation serves me right, I think it was 5 sacks. 5 sacks, I do believe that the defense got on Matt Ryan. They were harassing him pretty much all game. 10 quarterback hits, so the pressure was there all game. And we got to remember, this Colts offensive line is touted and talked about as one of the best in the leagues. So the fact that the Chiefs were able to get pressure on Matt Ryan, who sits behind a good offensive line, that gives me a lot of encouragement, a lot of positive encouragement. We got to remember, folks, the Chiefs are ranked at the very bottom of team sacks last year. If I'm correct, it was 29. And so you get 5 sacks this week or this past game against the Colts. I do believe they got Justin Herbert for let's double check real quick. Yeah, they got Justin Herbert for at least 2 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. And in game 1 against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, you get 3 sacks and 6 quarterback hits. So right now, this Chiefs defense is actually doing what we've been asking to do. Get pressure. Get sacks. They've been doing it. And it continued against the Colts. And hopefully it continues next week against the Buccaneers, who have been struggling protecting Tom Brady. But we'll discuss more keys to victory when it comes to the Buccaneers later in the week leading up to that game. But when it comes to this game, great job by the defense of getting pressure. And my third and final positive observation. I know we already talked about on negative observations on how the offense wasn't clicking and things just weren't, normal Kansas City Chief-esque. But I will give the offense their props on big plays. They made some big plays. Hit Travis Kelce on a big play to set up an eventual touchdown by Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So you see the flashes of greatness when this offense is clicking. Even though Patrick missed a throw to Marquez Valdes-Scantling, found a way to get Juju involved with this big run and pass connection right here. So, yes, there were some negatives from the Chiefs offense. Did Patrick Mahomes have the greatest game? No. But what brings me optimism is that not one time could you say that the Chiefs were out that game. It wasn't until that they got the unfortunate interception that you're like, all right, it's a loss, and it is what it is. But as much negative as there were on the offensive side from the Chiefs, there still was some bright spots to say, hey, they'll be just fine. You just got to make the plays next time. That's all it is. And so, overall, my Chiefs family, my Chiefs people who bleed red and gold, is Chiefs or die. Let's not freak out. Nobody was going to go undefeated. All right? Not even the Chiefs. As much as we love our beloved Kansas City Chiefs, they were not going to go undefeated. But I will say this. I thought that was a bad loss. I will die on this hill that I think that the Chiefs were the better team. And I wholeheartedly believe that the Chiefs killed themselves, shot themselves in the foot, made crucial mistakes, bad penalties, weren't able to convert on third down offensively. And at some point, as good as the defense was playing against the Colts, they wore down. And I think that's what happened. Otherwise, we're looking at 3-0. But it's okay. The Raiders still suck. I don't care if the Broncos are 2-1. They look like still trash. And hell, Chargers better hope their quarterback Ribs is feeling a little bit better after that butt whooping they took at home against the Jaguars. So how I see it, and how I think we should be feeling, Chiefs fans, is that we will be just fine. All the mistakes will be cleaned up. All the situations that didn't go for the Chiefs' way will be cleaned up. They still got a tough road ahead of them. Still got a tough stretch. I mean, we got to remember with the schedule, it's brutal. But if there's any team that can navigate it, it's our Kansas City Chiefs. All right, folks. I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Wild Card Chief with your boy Wildcard Mar. Do me a favor. Go on over to YouTube. Type in IOW Sports Network. Like, share, follow. Hit that subscription button. Hit that notification button. Let you know every time we drop new content. As such as the Wild Card Chief. And until next time, y'all know what the deal is. And the home of the Chiefs. Thank you.